If I'm an inside cat, like the most I'll do is like I'm a barn cat. You know?
Okay.
Like that's my version of outdoors. Is like I'll stay in the barn, I'll stay in the shed.
So last year we interviewed you virtually for Descendants, The Rise of Red. And when you realized you were talking to Etalk, you were very excited. You were very happy. So how does it feel to be on the iconic red sofas?
Can I just say, this is home now. This is home now. It's so nice. No, I really did freak out the last time because I was like, these are my people. You don't understand. These are my maple syrupins.
Yes,
this is a really big deal.
The beaver tails, all of the things.
All the things.
All the
You don't
things.
get it.
Yeah.
Nobody understands a Tim Beeb like I do.
I love that. I've got to ask you about another film coming up, Descendants, Wicked Wonderland.
Yes.
So what could you tease about Red and Chloe's latest adventure?
Red and Chloe's latest adventure. Red and Chloe's, oh shoot. I think, because there's so much this time around that I'm like, the now's the summer behind me for sure,
Okay,
making sure I'm not saying anything. But there's a lot of adventuring. I would say everything that you think is going to happen isn't what turns out to happen. There's a lot of twists and turns and a lot of just good times. I feel like it's one of those movies that you can watch with your whole friend group, which I think is really cool. And one thing that of course, I loved about the last movie that we did is that it's really Red and Chloe that go through the whole movie together. And this time they have this whole little entourage and squad of new characters that I feel like are so relatable to, I don't know, just a regular friend group.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for people to watch it and to kind of find themselves within the characters that are on screen because they're such a talent. I'm so happy to be part of that cast.
Well, birds of a feather, right? Flock together. So talk to us about reuniting with Kylie, Brandy, and Rita Ora.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. I mean, I think it's really funny. At the first time when I booked the project, I was 15 years old, and we shot it only last year, like around this time last year, the second one, and it felt so strange to be putting on that costume again of, whoa, suddenly I'm in the 10th grade again and I'm back in school and this is so weird. And so it was a full circle for me in particular, and having Brandy and Rita and Kylie on set is always such a joy. Brandy's an amazing mother, Rita's like a fun aunt, and it was truly the best time. Being able to embrace those moments together and kind of share this history of Descendants, knowing how much I loved the franchise growing up and how much everyone else loved them as well. It feels like we're able to kind of start a new legacy together, and of course you put that pressure on yourself because of it, but it feels worth it ultimately. You're like, okay, because we love it so much, it has to be perfect and we have to like do it justice. And so I'm very grateful to be able to do it justice with that team.
That's so great. You know, you're starring, you're EPing, you're serving fashion.
Serving fashion.
So what does Malia's day off look like? Or what's a wellness hack that you love? Or hanging with your friends? What does that look like?
Well, I'm from Vancouver. I love we have this one place in Van called Slice of Life. It's this vintage art shop with a bunch of photo booths. And so I love going in there with my friends all the time. I have so many photo strips of me and my best friends there 24/7. A good coffee, a little day off.
Sounds perfect.
I know, spending it with family, with friends, going to the gym if I'm really feeling up for it. But a day off is a day off.
Yeah, that's it.
Take your time. That's what it looks like. It's really chill most of the time. And then I get to surprise myself by getting on the Etalk red couch, my new home.
Well, Malia, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
The Babysitters Club, Zombies 4, Descendants, and now Hair of the Bear.
Hair of the Bear.
Let me tell you something. You are, like, the performance is just outstanding.
Thank you.
And I said to my producer, this stands beside any of the performances nominated this year.
Aw, that means so much.
No,
Thank you so
really
much.
incredible. I was just riveted.
Aw.
So how did you first stumble upon this project?
Oh my gosh, I was 14 when I saw this in my inbox, which was really wild. It was, I guess, 5 years ago now.
Okay.
Apparently they'd seen me on I represented something for the Canadian Screen Awards. I named one of the categories, and they saw me and they had already read the script, written the script, and so they were like, that's our Tori. And that was Sasha and James, our director and writer. And then I hopped on a Zoom with them, and they pretty much asked me to pitch myself to be this Tori character. And I tried my hardest and fell in love with the whole project from then on out. And over the course of the 3 years until we were starting to film, I was able to kind of get my opinion in there a bit more.
Absolutely.
Which I really appreciated, being heard and valued in that aspect and in that light too. And then got an executive producing credit too, which was like, I was like, double whammy, this is so fun.
Absolutely. Like, why was it important for you to not only be star, but to have your creative voice as the executive producer, that's huge, and you've accomplished so much at such a young age, and just beautifully.
Oh, thank you so much. No, I think it meant a really big deal, especially the creative team. Juliet, one of our main producers, she really took me under her wing on the whole producing aspect of things. I think there was also a level of, Tori's this young girl of color that really, there was no one on the team that was me. There was no one that was in that demographic that could really understand if this is our like female heroine, how are we going to do that in an authentic voice and in an authentic way where it feels not only representative for a major crowd, but also to this niche demographic of, if my younger self was watching this at the time, would I feel like this is exactly what I was thinking? And they were very, very gracious in letting me say my opinions and letting me really have my voice out there and known, especially for this character. I fell in love with her over time. I hold her in such a dear, dear part. I'm so protective over her. Because she's just a baby in my head. And like, I feel like we all have a Tori in us somewhere, and we all turn into the bear in some way or another.
Absolutely. And all those steps that you took behind the scenes, that is so visible on screen, just the impact of the character in the film. But how do you start embodying 16-year-old Tori? How do you find her?
No, I think she's very in her own like world, I feel like, most of the time. Like
a 16-year-old,
you
right?
know, a 16-year-old.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
They're very on brand.
It's really true. It's that like stereotypical teenager way that I hadn't really been able to step into before in previous projects. And because of this it's more grounded, it has more of like that thriller aspect, it's more survivalist. I think the physical aspects of the job really kind of got me into gear of, oh, I'm her right now. I took up running before I got into the project, just because there's a lot of activity within the actual film.
I was tired for you, and I was just watching it from my office.
No, it's like this going bit that I was like, James and Sasha, our director, I was like, I think you guys hate Tori. Like, I think you're just putting her through it just for fun. Like, you're just torturing her for no reason. And that's how I felt. It was very method.
But watching it, it put us in. It put us, it just really put us in the whole story.
Totally. No, I would agree. I feel like it kind of draws you in that way of, you get exhausted seeing how much she's going through, and with that, you root for her. And I think that's the main takeaway that I hope that people get from watching the film, is not only rooting for her, but kind of finding herself in whoever's watching and whatever audience is there, finding your own Tori, finding your own becoming the bear moment, never being a weasel. Never being a weasel. No. In so many ways. And I think that arc is something that not only I held dear, but everyone involved held really dear too. Because it is that, like, I think it's a human condition in a way. We grow into ourselves and we grow into each other, and nobody gets the way that Tori was treated, thankfully. But she's our role model through and through.
We all had challenges at 16 and that year, and maybe our challenges weren't as the same as Tori's. Right. She had to like speed it up a little bit.
Totally.
But at the end, I was just so proud of voice being heard and voice found.
Yeah.
I wish not in that respect, in that way, that manner. You know what I mean?
Need to go through that.
She'll never be the same again.
True.
Speaking of never being the same again, what did you learn about yourself and your craft by working alongside Roy Dewey?
Oh my gosh, Roy's so fun to work with. He's such a fun character. We really bonded on reading a lot of media. We bonded on reading, we bonded on music, and we bonded on film. I was really just watching in awe and admiration of how he handles himself on a set. Of he knows what he wants to do, he knows what voice he has on a set, and he's also a great role model in the sense of getting your name out there and saying your opinions, and if it gets shot down, then it gets shot down, and that's the worst that can happen. And so I was really grateful to have him to be not only on set, but him play my grandpa. I was like, this is a fun bond.
Tori has to learn several survival skills.
True.
To make it out in the wild. So I'm curious, do you think you could make it out in the wild for like a 24 hours or like just like a mini jaunt? I'm not saying I'm not going to say like a Tori journey,
right. No, not a Tori journey.
I like to say I'm an inside cat.
That's good. Wait, that's really good. And you know
she steps outside, but she's more like an inside
I feel
cat.
like if I'm an inside cat, like the most I'll do is like I'm a barn cat. You know? Like that's my version of outdoors. Is like I'll stay in the barn, I'll stay in the shed.
Yes.
Give me a little shelter, and I'm okay. In terms of surviving 24 hours by myself in the wild, I've learned a lot from set. There's like many scenes. There's this one scene where I strike a match and they all fall out, and then I have to do it on a rock, and that was real. So like
that's a skill.
That's a skill. That's a skill.
That's a huge skill.
And like you see my eyes light up, and it's because I was like, finally, take 17. I did it. Like I finally did it. You see like a rabbit trap for hunting that we had to make, and Sasha is a hunter, and so he like taught me how to do it properly. So I think I'd be able to take those things. I don't know if I could use them that well. I'd have to really recall a lot of things, but I could try.
I think you could.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What's the one thing you couldn't live without, say, in that 24 hours?
Oh my gosh, the one thing I couldn't live without. I mean, I would love to say my family. Okay. I would love to say if I could bring people with me in this 24-hour survival by myself, but then I wouldn't be by myself. I think otherwise, though, a coat.
Okay, yeah, yes.
A jacket would be really nice. I'm a cold gal.
That's funny you say that. As I was talking to my producer after we watched, and I said, you know, it's the mother in me that wanted Tori to have a hat on in the second half of the film. I was like, where is your hat,
she's going to be so cold.
She's going to be so cold.
No, true. For good reason.
What was Manitoba like?
Oh my gosh, Manitoba, it was my first time there. It was really cool to explore and kind of venture into in its own way. I really loved being able to film. We shot right next to like the Wendigo Lake in Winnipeg. And that's where like the majority of the film
beautiful.
is. It's stunning. It's so crazy to actually witness and experience, and even that experience of like what filming on a frozen lake looks like, doing ice tests every morning, making sure it's thick enough. Or have you ever heard like ice cracking from like a it sounds like a gunshot. It sounds like, I thought we were really crazy up in Winnipeg. I was
even the way Tori was running,
no,
or walking,
even the way,
there was a certain ice
totally
walk.
There's like a way to do it, because some shoes don't have enough grip, and you really got to make sure you're not slipping and sliding everywhere. It was a time of my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but whoa, you pick up a lot of skills. And Winnipeg, that was the way to do it.
That's
I loved
the peg.
being there. The peg. Go to the peg.
See, I feel like once you accomplish a movie like this, like, you're not afraid of anything. You know what I mean? In front of the camera. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? You've earned your wings, your cape.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I feel like a little angel now. I've earned my wings.
That's it.
No, yeah, I love that.
Okay, you mentioned Sasha, Alexander Trudeau, a few times. What was it like having him as a co-director / co-writer?
He's amazing. I mean, both him and James really, this is their passion project. This felt like their baby. They had been writing the script for years and years and years, and just kind of fine-tuning it to the point of wanting to film it. And I feel very grateful to have been brought on to their pretty much, their passion. Because I think it's written in the words as well. Like, if the script in itself really hooked me and grabbed me in a way where it's really, really rare. And then once we actually got to set, you could just see the amount of love that they poured not only to the storyline, but the characters, and how much they cared about the things that they wrote, and how much they cared about the themes that they're talking about. And that meant a lot to me, because it can become such an industry and such a business. And this really felt close to a heart, which is really, it feels sentimental in a lot of ways. So I love him. He's great. He was an amazing role model, and he was a great director. I hope he should feel, I try to remind him every now and then, I'm like, be proud of yourself. You killed this.
It's a great film. It just really, really is. Well, Malia, thanks for sharing a slice of your life with us today.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Really amazing. So enjoyed your performance.